Hello, and welcome to Clothier Design Source, the building blocks of an apparel tech pack. Could be a very dry subject, but a very necessary one. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to do it quick, and I'm going to just pack this full of information. I'm the owner of Clothier Design Source. My name is Mindy Martell. We offer these four steps in our building. So we offer design, we offer prototyping, we offer tech design, which we're talking about today, and we offer manufacturing, all in our building right here in the US. I want to remind you, you can go to our website, clothierdesignsource.com, and download free tech pack templates. There are also some templates for purchase with a lot more information in them and a lot more guidance. But yeah, hopefully this webinar helps you figure out how to work through a tech pack and understand what they're for. So I'm going to go through these 8 points, and then we're going to talk a little more about our templates. So the first thing, put this over here, that a tech pack covers is the stitching information. This is often overlooked, and I think it's one of the most important things that you need to specify to a factory to make sure your quality is up to par. So the International Standards Organization, or ISO, has created this wonderful chart of all the stitches that exist and given them little codes, so numbers. You can download one for free, actually, on our website under resources, and in that guide it has pretty much all of the stitches that you would want to use, standard to the industry. So how it works is it doesn't matter what country you're producing in or what language anyone speaks. It's saying if you specify over here on the right, you can see the first stitch is called 101. So if you specify you want stitch 101, this is the stitch you're going to get. You're going to get a single thread chain stitch. So it's definitely important to specify that. One of the additional requirements, there's sometimes several requirements of additional information you need to specify, such as bite width and things like that. But one thing you're always going to need to specify is stitches per inch, or SPI. So not only is specifying the type of the stitch, so you want to give them the code, but you need to specify the stitches per inch. That's going to dictate the life of your garment and the durability, and if it's a stretchy garment, it's going to help dictate the stretch. So for instance, a very high stretch compression garment, you're going to want to be up in 16 to 20 stitches per inch, maybe even more. You know, something made of lower quality standards, like maybe a Walmart garment or something like that, they're going to have a lower stitch count for a couple of reasons. It's going to help the sewer sew much faster because it's less stitches per inch. It's going to be cheaper, and it's also going to use less thread, so that's going to be more, less money too that's going into the product. So if you do not specify, sometimes you will find the factories are kind of cheating on that end of making things, less expensive for them to produce it. So you definitely want to specify that in the beginning, and go ahead to our website and download the free guide. The second thing that a tech pack, a purpose that it serves, is it controls sizing. And this is really important. You want to specify how you want each size to fit. As you can see in this diagram, we have, for instance, right here across the chest, that is number 1. And if you look down at the chart below, number 1 happens to be half chest, 1 inch below armhole. So if you measure along that red line, you can see these different sizes, even though I don't have the size headers in here. But the first column is extra small, next column is small, medium, large, and so on. So you can see the first column, first size, extra small, I want that chest to measure 11 3/4 inch. So again, it doesn't matter what language you speak, the picture and the numbers and the diagrams are telling the factory what your expectations are for the different sizes. So you want to list out the POMs, which are points of measure. It's a very common term in the industry. So all of these numbers here are the POMs, and you want to list all of them out, and you want to specify a measurement for each size. Okay. On our website, we do have some templates called grade rules, which are the amount of change between each size. So a neck is going to grow different than a chest is going to grow, then a sleeve length is going to grow. So it isn't just taking a percentage and upping your garment. It is using professional grade rules of how the body grows and how, you know, the anatomy changes as a person changes size. And so on our website, we do have those grade rules for sale, so you can check those out under resources. The third purpose that a tech pack serves is it helps control your fabric that you're using. You can supply your own fabric, or you can specify your fabric down to every little detail of what you want the factory to use. So the things that you want to specify are content. For instance, is it 90% polyester, 10% spandex? You want to specify the type of weave or knit. So for instance, if it's a knit, you want to specify if it's jersey knit or if it's interlock knit, for example. You want to specify the weight of the fabric. This is generally specified in grams per meter squared or yards, or I should say ounces per yard. But you definitely want to specify that. If any of you remember the Lululemon incident a few years back where they had a huge lot of pants that were recalled because they were see-through, that is because the weight of the fabric was not meeting their specifications. Somehow it slipped through. You know, they missed some testing process, it sounds like, which I'm sure they have implemented since. But, you know, if their fabric was supposed to be 300 grams per meter squared, I'm guessing it was 50-some grams too light in order to cause all the pants to be see-through. So it is an important thing, not just for see-through, for hand feel, for functionality, but it is an important part of your fabric specification. You also want to specify if there's any special finishings. A lot of times fabrics will have a special wash that might soften them up, or you know, an enzyme wash or a silicone wash. Those are two pretty common ones. If you want to know more about fabrics, I am going to hold a fabric webinar of how to source your own fabrics and sourcing fabrics coming up, so please sign up for that. On our website, Clothier Design Source under resources. The fourth thing that your tech packs are doing is they're helping control the trims that are used. You really need to specify all the nitty-gritty details of your trims. I take a couple examples here. I only talk about snaps and I talk about zippers. There's a million trims out there, and you know, a million things you need to specify. The sky is the limit, really. So I'm going to focus on snaps and tell you some things that you would need to specify for the snap. You need to talk about what type of snap it is, like if it's a ring or a cap snap. You need to talk about what diameter you're expecting. You need to talk about what finish you want on the snap. So is it a nickel finish or a brass finish or a plastic finish? You want to talk about the way it is applied, and then you want to decide if you want any branding on that snap. You know, it could be a plain silver snap possibly, or you might want to have your brand stamped into it. The other thing is zippers. I could actually hold an entire webinar on zippers. But here's some things you want to specify for zippers. So you want to talk about the type of teeth that are being used. So if you look in these two pictures on the left side, this is a reverse coil zipper. You do not see the teeth. The zipper on the right side, that is just a regular nylon coil zipper. Two very different looks in the, you know, that can look very, very different in the garment. There's I'm not listing all the types of teeth that are out there. This is just a couple examples. You want to specify the size of the zipper, the size of the teeth that pull. This is usually through numbers. A number 3 zipper is probably one of the most common medium to lightweight zipper. You want to describe the ends, such as open-ended or closed-end. So a jacket, for instance, opens up at the bottom. That is an open-end zipper. Maybe a quarter zip top, that would be a closed-end zipper because it is closed at the end. And again, you want to think about if it's branded or not. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about is your labels. So you need to specify your labels. You need to think about the inner labels, the inner care, content, size, and country of origin. In order to be legal and having a garment being sold in the United States at least, you need to have a lot of this information in your garment. So you need to decide how you want to get it in there, what kind of labels you want it on, and you need to specify all the information. So you need to specify, for instance, if it's a woven or heat transfer label. What size is that label? Does it fold or not fold? If it's a woven, what kind of fabric is it on? For instance, my picture is a satin label. You can kind of see the sheen to it. There's many other kinds of label. You could do cotton. You definitely want to specify the placement in the garment. Where does that label go? And a lot of times you can accomplish all this information with more than one label. So you might want to put the size in the neck and the care and content down on the side seam. So you just want to think about all that. You have outer branding labels too, not always, but sometimes. So you want to be thinking about, what that is. For instance, this picture is a heat transfer label. You want to think about what size and color, what type of ink, and the placement on the garment. Tolerances. Tolerances are important. You want to list your tolerances for your tech packs, meaning those POMs we talked about earlier, the points of measure. You want to specify, if I want a 40-inch chest on my garment, I'm okay with accepting 1 inch lower and 1 inch higher. So I'm okay with accepting a 39-inch or a 41-inch. And you need to specify that for each point of measure, what tolerance you're willing to accept. I put a picture here of a hard good, just as a reminder that apparel is not hard, it is soft. So we do need larger tolerances than if we were making a hard good. This hard good, for instance, probably has a less than, this says 0.5, it could be 0.25 millimeters of tolerance, plus or minus. In apparel, you're looking more at numbers that are 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch to 1 inch of tolerances depending on the area of the garment. And you want to make sure you go over those tolerances with your manufacturer and you get them to agree with the tolerances, so you're all on the same page. The last most important thing a tech pack serves as is it's a pseudo contract or agreement. So you want to get the factory to accept your tech pack, accept your points of measure, accept all of your fabric trims, labels, requirements, and accept your tolerances. So everything in the tech pack. And that's really your agreement with them. Then once they accept that, then that's what you've agreed, and they've agreed that they're going to make. So that's one of the best thing it serves as. The other thing it really serves is it's easy for the untrained person to spot check your production. So if you're getting your goods sent to a warehouse employee could actually use your tech pack and use all those great visuals of the points of measure and the ISO stitch guide and things like that, and they can look at the garment and see if it's actually matching what the tech pack says. So that's another really great reason for a tech pack. We have free templates online. We have some for purchase templates online. The free template is expecting, it works really well if you have some apparel background and knowledge. The for purchase templates have quite a bit more information in them. They already have the points of measure listed out for you, and there's some guidance on how to use all the different areas in the tech pack. Again, there's grade rules online too, which are separate from the tech pack, but they are those measurements of what's happening between each size in the different points of measure area. So I highly recommend those if you don't have apparel training. And the last thing I wanted to share is we do have an academy that I teach. ClothierDesignSource.com. Look at under resources or check out the academy. We have 3 different academies you can sign up for various levels. And I hope you join, and I hope you can join one of our next webinars coming up. Sign up on our website under resources, and I hope you learned something today. Thanks.